So finally, Injustice 2 is here, NetherRealm Studios' follow-up to the hit 2013 game Injustice Gods Among Us. I must admit it wasn't too incredibly hyped. The Injustice games are always something to hold you over until the next Mortal Kombat, but the first one was incredibly fun. Injustice 2 is all about every battle defines you, promising a new gear system, but how would the story progress after the events of Injustice 1? Well, let's find out. Some minor spoiler warning here. I'm not going to go through the whole story this time, but please skip to this time in the video if you don't want to be spoiled. Get it? Got it? Good! So the story of Injustice 2 picks up after the events of the first game. Batman is trying to rebuild the world after Superman nearly tore it apart. There's a new threat to peace, Gorilla Grodd Society, while at the same time what's left of the regime with new member Supergirl who are trying to break Superman out. Eventually this all gets sidetracked by Brainiac arriving on Earth, which forces Batman and Superman to team up to stop him. That's it. I basically summarized this story in less than a minute. But there are some things to get into about the story mode's progression in terms of gameplay. As far as gameplay progressions this makes compared to NetherRealm's predecessors, while this continues with the character chapter format, you actually are occasionally given the option to choose your character, finally giving the player some kind of interactivity with the story mode. There's only one choice where this actually affects the story, which I won't give away because I don't want to fully spoil the ending. The story opens with shots of Supergirl getting sent into space, and it sets her up as the protagonist of the game. Except she isn't. Her role in the story basically amounts to finding out that her cousin has fallen so far into becoming a Knight Templar. Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, Harley gets some of the best character development she's ever received in this game. And Wonder Woman, there's some evidence that she's the main cause for Superman's downfall, which is very interesting. As for what I didn't care for, well, Gorilla Grodd's the Society. They're jobbers for the characters to fight, as per tradition, and some characters only get one appearance, like the Joker, who appears only in a fear gas hallucination, which really makes me question why he's even in this game aside from being the Joker. If some of you out there were hoping for Dr. Fate to play a major role, well, don't get your hopes up. Again, it's hard to give screen time to all the characters in a story mode that has to have at least 2 hours worth of cutscenes. What I will praise the story for is that you really do feel the sense of loss that everything has fallen apart for DC's heroes in the Injustice universe.
Do you remember that night when you told me Lois was pregnant?
You knew, even before I said anything.
That was a good memory.
From another lifetime.
I miss the people we were then.
Me too.
The focus of the story is of Batman and Superman's relationship, how well they work together in spite of everything that's happened, and how ultimately heartbreaking it is that they are no longer close. That is the true tragedy of the story of Injustice. Pay attention, Zack Snyder, you could learn a thing or two. Now that the story is out of the way, let's talk real quick about presentation. Wow, these graphics are a huge improvement over MKX's. Probably because these were made with current generation consoles in mind, and not as a cross-generation like MKX started off as. Everything looks so real. The models, the backgrounds, but what I really must give them credit for is the facial animations. I was very impressed. We've come a long way from... that. Women's faces actually look like faces you'd expect a woman to have, and there are extremely subtle nuances in the characters' facial animations that really pull you into the story. It's just a spectacle to look at. Bravo, NetherRealm Studios! For the gameplay, everything you could do in the first Injustice still applies here. Light, medium, and heavy attacks. You can do block escapes, but there's also things you can do with the Meteor Burn. You can do a Meteor Burn into a combo, you can do a roll escape, or you can even do an air escape. All this helps to add to give the gameplay of Injustice 2 a faster feel than its predecessor. Managing your meter is so important if you want to do well in Injustice 2, whether you want to use them for enhanced special moves, escapes, or if you want to save them for super moves. Let me talk about these real quick. These look amazing. They really outdid themselves this time around. You feel like you're watching an event, from Superman taking off to the skies, Batman sending the Batwing after you, or the Flash running back into prehistoric times. It's just a visual marvel. Clashes are also improved visually from the first game. I just love getting into them. The roster is about what you'd expect. A nice mix of old and new characters. Not everyone from Injustice 1 comes back, which does damage me a little bit. I miss Batgirl and Raven. I liked using them in the first game. Also, not putting Martian Manhunter in, even though he was one of the most highly requested characters for the last game. Very odd. There's DLC coming which shows Starfire, Red Hood, and Sub-Zero. Maybe I'll do an update for when all the DLC is out. Characters now talk before matches like they did in MKX, and this is always my favorite part of a NetherRealm fighting game. I love watching the intros. As for stuff to do, there's plenty of content. Injustice 2's whole tagline is every battle defines you. Every battle you fight, you get a piece of gear that you can equip onto your character as they level up, so you can customize the characters you see fit. Or at least I would, but I found myself not really caring for the way some of the gear looks on the characters, but hey, you're free to find more that could suit you, and that's where the multiverse comes in. Injustice 2 takes the whole multiverse concept and runs with it. There are many different Earths out there, and you can find plenty of different stories going on. It's like the towers in MKX. You have to do these if you want to find ultra rare gear. It's a lot of fun going into the different scenarios. There's also online mode, and it's pretty standard for a NetherRealm Studios game. Although I wonder how they're going to handle the gear system. I'm thinking gear will have to be banned for tournaments like EVO. There's also Battle Simulator, which works like arcade mode. You just gotta hope that Brainiac doesn't do his cheat move where he attacks you with his ship. So overall, I highly recommend Injustice 2. It's faster and better than its predecessor with improved presentation, faster gameplay, and a story mode that doesn't rapture you in. NetherRealm Studios. Now, we all know what you're working on next, and I can't wait to see footage of it. As soon as the next Mortal Kombat hits, I will be there. Expect a video about my own thoughts about what I'd like to see out of the next Mortal Kombat in the coming future. For now, I'm signing off. Have yourselves a fantastic day and take care. If you liked the video, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. Thank you!